Welcome back to SB Nation. I am joined by Spencer Hall from Every Day Should Be Saturday and our own Shutdown Fullback every Friday. It's the funniest thing you will see ever. We're here to talk about NCAA bracket stuff and college football stuff. And as it turns out, Spencer, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm still hungover from South by Southwest. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for asking. As we were saying before, the NCAA tournament is about to kick off and has kicked off, and we have college football always on our minds, and this has been a time for people to use the NCAA tournament to sort of denigrate the college football season and postseason. Why are they doing that?
Because they don't know how to compare variables. How's that?
Pretty
because
good.
These are two entirely different things. That's the idea. And to compare the postseasons is really sort of inaccurate, especially given the product. College basketball has, 300 plus teams vying for this single bracket. It's a spread out sport whose appeal is completely different regionally. There are some overlaps like the Midwest, but on the whole, the real strengths of college football lie in the Big Ten, they lie in the Big 12, and they lie in the Southeast. One of those regions doesn't really care all that much about basketball outside of Kentucky, and that happens to be the Southeastern Conference. So regionally, there are some overlaps, but it's a very different sport, both in scale and in geography.
Do we actually see football people looking to basketball as a model, or is it mostly people that cover both or cover just sports in general, looking at one thing and trying to place it on the other?
I'm not even really sure. I think the people who do it basically do it either as a defense for an indefensible system,
right,
because basketball attendance is down.
Right.
That this would have something to do with their entire season being backloaded. And the reason that college basketball has the 64 tournament, besides it being like a fantastic product opportunity, right? Because it's really the NCAA's cash cow, right? And it's an ingenious idea. But the reason that you can do that is because you could not do that with football. You couldn't play with 64 teams because of the physical toll it would take on players. You couldn't play with it because it would probably run out of season. And you couldn't do that because there are so many fewer teams in college football. So the whole idea to me is either one, you're using it as a kind of straw man defense for the BCS, or two, you really don't understand exactly how simple a college football playoff could be. Right. Or how complex a full 64-team bracket would be. And
could it just be football's popularity is due to the fact that it is football and we live in America and it seems to be a more popular thing than basketball and have nothing to do with the fact that the postseason is a little bit weird and unique?
No. It's because football's better. No, it really does have something to do with, let's say nice things about college basketball.
Sure.
It's their time. Yeah, but it really does have something to do with just the different anatomies of the sport. College football is our nation's second most popular sport, right, essentially, behind the NFL. And the NFL does just fine with what is a fairly limited playoff under very controlled circumstances in a salaried situation. I think with the unpaid labor we're using here, the constraints of our very strained definition of student athlete, a +1 would work just fine. It could go to 8 teams. Right. That in itself would be fine. The clear thing to remember here is that there are always inequalities and inequities in every playoff system. And if you don't believe that, then the term bubble team means nothing to you.
Well, his name, the young man beside me, is Spencer Hall. He is the Shutdown Fullback. Do check out edsbs.com and SB Nation for all things Spencer. And we will see you soon on SB Nation. Do subscribe.